Hello everyone and welcome back to the Proactive Learning YouTube channel. Today we're going through question 20 from paper 3 from June 2019 higher tier. So let's see what the question's asking us. So we're asked to solve algebraically the following simultaneous equations. Now with any simultaneous equations there's two main ways you can solve them. You could either solve them via elimination or via substitution. Personally for me, I prefer substitution. So today we're going to run through the method for solving via substitution. But something we need to understand here is this is a slightly trickier simultaneous equation that we would usually see. The main reason why is because we've got these large terms like x squared and y squared. So the next question you might be asking is, do I rearrange the first equation to sub it into the second equation, or do I rearrange the second equation to sub it into the first equation? And the key idea here is you want to rearrange the equation that's simpler. In this case, the second equation, it hasn't got any x squared or y squared terms in it, so we're going to rearrange that to then sub it into the top equation here. So let's rewrite the second equation. 3x plus 4y is equal to 7. Now here, you have the freedom to choose whether you want to make x the subject or y the subject. So feel free to choose whichever one you're more comfortable with. Personally for me, I'll just choose to make x the subject here. So to make x the subject, we need to move 4y to the other side. So what's the opposite of adding 4y? It's taking away 4y. So then we have 3x is equal to 7 minus 4y. Then from here, we don't want 3x as the subject, we want x as the subject. So to do that, we need to divide both sides by 3. So we get 7 over 3, take away 4 over 3y. So now we have an expression for x in terms of y. So now let's just sub that into our top equation. So x squared minus 4y squared, and that's all equal to 9. So now instead of x squared, we will write 7 over 3 minus 4 over 3y, and all of that is being squared. Take away 4y squared is equal to 9. From here, when we have a set of brackets squared, another way we can write it is 7 over 3 minus 4 over 3y, and that's being times by exactly itself. So 7 over 3 minus 4 over 3y, take away 4y squared is equal to 9. From here, we know how to expand out double brackets, so let's go ahead and do that. So first, 7 over 3 times 7 over 3, that's 49 over 9. Then 7 over 3 multiplied by negative 4 over 3y, that's negative 28 over 9y. Then we do exactly the same thing. We have another 28 over 9y. And then if we times negative 4 over 3y by itself, we get positive 16 over 9y squared. Then we have our minus 4y squared, and all of that is equal to 9. So from here, we've got quite a few fractions to deal with, and these aren't very nice fractions either. So one thing we could do is realize of the fractions that we have, they all have a denominator of 9. So is there any way we could get rid of these fractions? What could we times everything by to get rid of the fractions? And in that case, we can times the left and right hand side by 9. So if we do that, we get 49 minus 28y minus another 28y plus 16y squared minus 4y squared is equal to 9. And in this case, it wouldn't be 9 on its own, it would be 9 times 9, which would be 81. Actually, it would not be minus 4y squared, it would be minus 36y squared, and that's equal to 81. So from here, let's simplify everything down. If we have 16 lots of y squared and we're taking away 36 lots of y squared, we're left with negative 20 lots of y squared. Then we have minus 28y, take away another 28y, so that leaves us with minus 56y. And then we have a positive 49, and that's equal to 81. So whenever it comes to solving a quadratic like we need to do now, what we want to do is get one side equal to 0. So we need to move this 81 to the left. So in that case, the opposite of adding 81 is taking away 81. So then we have minus 20y squared minus 56y plus 49 minus 81, and that's equal to 0. So in this case, 49 minus 81 is equal to minus 32. So we have negative 20y squared minus 56y, take away 32, and that's equal to 0. So now from here, we're still dealing with quite large coefficients for our quadratic. So let's see if we can take out any factors. So here, could we take out, let's say, a factor of 2? We can, because all of our coefficients are even numbers. So if we take out a factor of 2, we have minus 10y squared, take away 28y minus 16. And that is all equal to 0. But now, could we take out another factor of 2? We could, couldn't we? So in other words, we're taking out a factor of 4. Then we're left with minus 5y squared minus 14y minus a, and all of that is equal to 0. Now from here, we need to be able to actually solve this quadratic on the inside. So one thing that we could do is think about the following. Each of our coefficients are negative, so can't we also take a factor of negative 1 out? We could, couldn't we? So then, if we take out a factor of negative 4, we have 5y squared plus 14y plus 8. Now from here, we need to factorize the quadratic inside our brackets. To do that, there's lots of different ways you can factorize. Personally for me, I like to multiply the coefficient of y squared and the constant, then we get 40. And then we have the coefficient of y here, which is 14. Now from here, what we need to do is find two numbers that multiply to make 40 and add to make 14. Here it's quite obvious, it's 4 and 10. So then we have minus 4 on the outside, but we still need to do a little bit more work to factorize. So we have our double brackets here. Now, at the start of both our double brackets, we have 5y, then we have plus 4 and plus 10. Now, 5y plus 4, that can't be simplified. But then 5y plus 10, it can. It can be simplified to y plus 2. If we divide 5 by 5 and if we divide 10 by 5. So then we have our factorized form. So we have 5y plus 4, y plus 2, and all of that is equal to 0. So from here, let's actually find out what the values are for y. So if 5y plus 4 can equal 0, what's the opposite of adding 4? Subtracting 4. So we subtract 4 to both sides. So we get 5y is equal to minus 4. Then we don't want 5y, we want y on its own. So in that case, we have to divide both sides by 5. So we get minus 4 over 5 as our first value for y. Now let's look at the second pair of brackets. So now we have y plus 2, and that's equal to 0. What's the opposite of adding 2? Subtracting 2. So we subtract 2 to both sides, and we get y is equal to negative 2. So here we have both possible values for our y. But realize here, we haven't really found out anything about our x values. So let's go ahead and do that now. So to find out our x values, what we need to think about is what we did at the start with this expression here. So we had x in terms of y. So let's just use that to our advantage. So we have x is equal to 7 over 3, take away 4 over 3y. But now when y is equal to negative 2, what is x equal to? X is equal to 7 over 3 minus 4 over 3. But now instead of y, we'll write minus 2. So x is equal to 7 over 3. Then if we do minus 4 over 3 times by minus 2, we get positive 8 over 3. And that leaves us with 15 over 3. So now we have our value for x. So when x, or when y is equal to minus 2, x is equal to 15 over 3. On the other hand, what about when y is equal to minus 4 over 5. Same sort of situation here. X is equal to 7 over 3 minus 4 over 3, then in brackets, minus 4 over 5. Now here, we'll just move over this working to the left here. X is then equal to 7 over 3. Now, 4 over 3 times by 4 over 5, that gives us 16 over 15, and both negatives cancel out. So if we times 4 over 3 by 4 over 5, we get 16 over 15, and both negatives cancel out. So then we get 7 over 3 plus 16 over 15. Now from here, if we put that into our calculator, we get 17 over 5. So then we can write our final solution. So when x is equal to 15 over 3, y is equal to minus 2, and the only other solution is when x is equal to 17 over 5, y is equal to minus 4 over 5. Something to also bear in mind here is 15 over 3 is the same as just writing 5. So hopefully that answered some questions you guys have. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions about how we did the working, how we got to the answer. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.